few seconds, news coming into us that Dame Vera Lynn has died at the age of 103, her family has said. The Forces sweetheart, of course, synonymous with her song, "We'll Meet Again," that phrase that was echoed by the Queen in her address to the public in the early weeks of the COVID-19 pandemic. "We'll meet again." Dame Vera Lynn, the Forces sweetheart, has died at the age of 103. Just the briefest of statements from her family at this point. Earlier this year, in January, a new portrait of Dame Vera Lynn was unveiled at the Royal Albert Hall in connection, of course, with the 75th anniversary of peace being declared in 1945. And it was unveiled by her daughter, Virginia. Dame Vera Lynn, who was born on the 20th of March 1917, has died at the age of 103, her family has said. Her songs have very much been, of course, in mind in recent weeks as we think about the end of World War II. And this will come as a huge shock to so many people, not only the Forces sweetheart, but someone who is held so dearly, I think it is absolutely correct to say, in the national memory because of her contribution throughout the years, particularly during the war years. Her songs, which helped so many people and consoled so many people through that time. Robert Hall has been looking back at the life of Dame Vera Lynn.
It is a voice that has spanned the decades. The voice of an ordinary London girl born at the end of the First World War who became an iconic symbol of the Second. Vera Welch, daughter of a plumber and a dressmaker, began singing as a child. She took her grandmother's surname, Lynn, as a stage name, made her first record aged 19 and sold 1 million records in the next 3 years.
This little girl from East Ham would never have had the opportunity if she hadn't have been singing, if my mother hadn't put me on the stage.
This letter of mine is getting to be a sort of rendezvous where husbands and wives, torn apart by war, can be brought together by music.
When war broke out again, Vera began broadcasting with the BBC. Through a Forces Request programme, Sincerely Yours, she became the girl that thousands of fighting men hoped they'd meet when they returned home, although some accused the programme of damaging the war effort.
Too sentimental, making the boys homesick. And I said, that's rubbish, a lot of rubbish. I said, because the letters are so thankful for the programmes.
Vera was a star, but her desire to do more took her to meet fans halfway around the world.
So they said, well, where do you want to go? I said, well, if I'm going in, I know Europe are getting well supplied. I want to go somewhere where there isn't any entertainment. So they said, well, Burma's the only place, you know.
She kept a record of her jungle adventures in a secret diary.
I took my little diary, my little pencil, and just about see it, tiny little writing. Slept on stretcher, oh yes, balanced on 2 kitchen chairs. A rotten night, I should think so.
It's not being awarded you, you earned it. You earned it more.
It was another 40 years before Vera Lynn received her own Burma star. By then, she was Dame Vera Lynn and as busy as ever.
Am I allowed to kiss you?
Yeah.
In 1995, Vera led veterans in song outside Buckingham Palace to mark the 50th anniversary of VE Day.
Depends on how you treat her.
And in 2010, aged 94, she topped the charts once again.
It was a shock. I thought, oh, 70 years ago, the same song was #1. And little did I think that I would even still be around, let alone have a #1 hit.
On Dame Vera's 100th birthday, she listened to the children of her old school and remembered the singing coach she ignored.
When she heard me sing, she says, "No, I can't train that voice. It's not a natural voice." So I said, "Well, thank you very much, madam," and left.
Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies chase those dark clouds far away.
But Vera Lynn's national presence was more than a voice. It was a spirit, carried forward across the decades and still resonating during the current pandemic. A spirit reflected by the Queen during her recent, very personal message.
We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.
We meet again. Don't know where, don't know when.
Vera Lynn's strongest bonds were always with the veterans she still referred to as my boys. The words she sang will endure long after the last of them has left us.